So, you're never gonna guess what happened. Dex put a hit on me. I took a bullet, I died, I came back. All good until I realized I had a time bomb wedged in my brain. Feels like a goddamn movie plot.
Hello there, Night City!
A city of endless opportunity.
And I met Johnny Silverhand.
Fucking Chip. Night City legend.
Long story.
Here we go!
Hello, welcome back in Night City in the Cyberpunk episode of the REDstreams. I'm Amelia Korzycka and I'm a senior community manager at CD Projekt Red. And today with my guests, we'll take you on a tour through Night City on Nintendo Switch 2. So let me introduce my guests. Today, as always, with me is Alicia Kozera.
Hey guys, nice to see you.
We have our developers who worked on Nintendo Switch 2 version of Cyberpunk. So we have Filip Downar, gameplay technical design expert.
Long title.
Long title. And Giovanni De Francesco, senior technical artist.
Hello.
Welcome.
Ciao.
Nice to have you here, guys. So our trailer, which I absolutely adore this trailer, already teased a little bit what we're gonna be talking about. It's the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the game. We have the box right here on the table with us. We have the Switch itself here, so we're gonna show you some hands-on action with the game. And we are live with you today, so if you have any questions regarding this version of the game, drop them in the chat. We have our CDPR team and our moderators taking care of you in the chat.
Yeah, and if you wanna dress up as a Choom in Night City, there is also a partner of the episode, which is our CDPR gear store. So if you type !CDPR gear, you'll have the link to get your merch that we're actually all wearing. So, visit.
Yeah, check out this beautiful white t-shirt with Cyberpunk logo. That's them. I really recommend.
So yeah, let's just jump into straight to the action. So guys, when you heard for the first time ever that we are actually making Cyberpunk 2077 on Nintendo Switch 2, what you thought, how you felt?
Well, for sure it was a big surprise. It came out of the blue. Because there was no information about the new console, and then they told me, okay, there is a Switch 2, and we are porting the game. So it was like, okay, that's a lot. And so yeah, it was exciting. I'm a fan of Nintendo, and the possibility to work with them. And then at that moment, of course, we didn't know how powerful the console would be, what feature would have, but so it was the moment where you can imagine. You can think freely. How can you bring the game in this new console, and what are the possibilities? So it was very cool, and just the fact to have Cyberpunk portable was exciting part. What about you?
For me, it was I was a little bit shocked as you. I was really surprised. I didn't know that we were even attempting this. Then I think after the initial shock, there was the uncertainty because of the new features related to gyro and motion patterns, because we didn't have much experience in the company with stuff like this, and me personally specifically. So it was a big part of the first impression that we need to deliver on this one. But later on, it was definitely a curiosity, challenge, and just excitement to be working on something like this, something new.
So you mentioned that at the very beginning it was quite top secret, knowing about Nintendo Switch 2. So it was an additional challenge for both of you, of the mental and logistical, to keep it under the wraps. How did it work?
Yeah, it worked. It was difficult because it was super secret inside the company. So we had to work in another building. We were in a room locked by key, so nobody could enter inside the room, of course. And imagine.
You can say the word secret.
So yeah, imagine I go for lunch in the canteen with everybody, and they ask me, of course, "Hey, Giovanni, what are you working on?" And I cannot tell you, and say, "Why? We know everything." You know, no, I cannot. So it's a secret project. Yeah, it's secret. I'm sorry. And so it was complicated. Then after a while, somebody called me and say, "Hey, Giovanni, you cannot say it's a secret project because there is rumor inside the company, and they're wondering what is going on, what it is." And so, what should I say? Say it's an unannounced project.
Much better.
Okay, it didn't change. It didn't change anything. The discussion.
But one word.
Yeah.
You know, this discussion was still complex, and so when somebody was asking me, "What are you working on?" I would just say, steer the conversation like, "Hey, look out the window." It's a squirrel.
So you guys pretty much had to practice your poker face.
Oh yes, even my manager didn't know what project I was working on for the time being, and I had to be like on one hand like saying what I'm working, but without really revealing much, and it's difficult when you're working on a project like this.
Okay. We obviously talked about mental and logistical challenges, but obviously porting the game on such a system also brings technical challenges. Could you maybe tell us a bit more of those?
Yeah, of course. So, of course, every platform have its own challenge. No, it's just a different one. For instance, this system have a different architecture. It's ARM. It's not the classical one. So there was the challenge of the translation to make the game work in the first place. But I will tell you, like when you have a very talented developer, like we have actually indeed, we were a small team, but everybody was incredibly talented and skilled, and I call them like veteran of video game development. So what happened when everybody knows what they have to do in the right moment when they have to do it, everything goes smooth. So indeed, we were surprised how smoothly the development went overall. But if we have to talk about challenges, I think that we created our own challenges because we set the bar very high, and so it was just the trying of achieving the best result possible that give us the challenge and to push ourselves.
I mean, we're always very ambitious when it comes to any project that we do at the company. How about you, Filip?
Yeah, it's I try to live by this philosophy that if you don't feel challenged, then it means that you don't push enough, sort of, and it works really well for the most part. I can just mimic what Giovanni said, that this initial ambition and the experience of the whole team that was working on this really made all of this possible, because how smooth it went, it allowed us and gave us the confidence to push even farther and more, to push the bar higher. So basically, whenever you struggle, then you let go for a moment. But if everything is like sailing, you just challenge yourself more.
And the more you see the result, the more you want to push. You say, hey, this is came up very, very good. So you want to make it even better.
Let's continue doing what we were doing.
Yeah, push even more.
Yeah.
Okay, so like porting this to Nintendo Switch 2 obviously included some collaboration with Nintendo themselves. Could you tell us a little bit more how it looked like?
Oh, mamma mia. I had to say it, sorry. So the collaboration was very smooth. They were always present, answering our question. Of course, Nintendo didn't have developer themselves working on the game, but they were in the loop and giving great input and answering our answers. So it was, very smooth collaboration.
Okay, awesome. And the system itself, it offers us some features that different like consoles and ports don't have. So maybe we can talk about them or maybe even show them. What do you think about that, Filip?
Sure. From the features perspective, we actually support all of them. We support the touchscreen, we support the gyro, we support the motion patterns, mouse, all of it.
Let's try touchscreen first, maybe.
Sure. So we made sure that the touchscreen is available in menus, but also you can go into the menus from the game itself by, for instance, pressing the map or the journal.
How
really
cool
cool.
is that?
That's really awesome and very neat because it's just right there when you play the game with your thumb. So it's very useful. The touchscreen supports multiple leg gestures. You can swipe it, you can zoom in, zoom out. It works pretty much how you'd expect it working on your phone. You can go through different menus. You can interact pretty much with all of it or most of it, and it's very seamless and intuitive. So that's one thing. You obviously can play with in the handheld mode, which is quite similar to how you would be working with the regular controller. There is the gyro possibility, so you can help your aim with just moving the whole handheld to help with the aiming.
That's super helpful.
That's very helpful and also immersive. That's another aspect of it that's just fun.
It's fun.
It's
It is.
fun.
This is true. You can play in what is my favorite mode, which is the dual grip, where you have to have the console either standing in front of you, but basically you switch to both Joy-Cons. And this basically allows you for like the maximum amount of features, I would say, because the gyro is still there. However, I would say like the freedom of movement of your camera is much bigger because it's just your wrist. It's really amazing. You can use it either in combat or you can even use it just to look around, walk around the city.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that's really nice. And then we obviously have the motion patterns. So something that you can use mostly in combat, but not also, because we support patterns such as dodge, for instance, that I, for instance, use just to get around the nice city and close the gap, whatever. It just becomes like your second nature.
I think no other system, no other version of the game actually allows you to dodge as quickly as this motion
That's true.
controls, right?
That's true. And actually, when we were thinking about creating the patterns and what kind of actions we want to support, one of the main things was that we didn't want it to feel like a gimmick. It had to be useful. It had to make sense. We were not doing this just for the purpose of implementing this. We wanted for the players to be able to get something out of it. So, for instance, with the dodge, notoriously, in order to do it, you have to take your button away from the controller. And with the patterns, you can do it while moving your camera, which is very useful. And probably I'll just die right now because
you didn't heal enough, and actually the heal pattern
Filip is a very good player, but he's not
when
good
I talk.
not good at multitasking.
that's true. I only have one processor in my brain, unfortunately.
Let's try again, no worries. You have to heal more. Remember the
healing.
movement.
The movement,
Good one.
I told him to put it in easy, but he said no. I had to play.
It's a challenge, right?
Yes, always a
It's always a
challenge.
challenge.
Always a challenge.
But yeah, like it looks really cool to do all those gestures, and at some point they feel natural. That you just naturally you do inhale, and it's
Or
Absolutely.
like
It's
throw
just
the
like that.
knife,
Or
right?
throw the
It's also
knife.
supernatural
Yeah.
movement.
This is something that really took a lot of time to get right, where the patterns are natural, but they also feel rewarding. So we're trying to strike this cool balance between having something that is easy to learn but hard to master.
Okay.
And literally with the patterns, the skill ceiling for the game and like what you can do in the game increases because suddenly more actions become available to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's definitely a thing. And on top of it, it's just more immersive. That's another aspect that makes it cool and like worthwhile to just check out.
But basically, people can do it in different ways, right? Because it took you a while to get to where it is. We had some playtesting programs, and you saw how people actually use it. Can you tell us about this process a little bit more?
Sure. I'll pause it for a moment. The playtest process was a very long one and very important. It was actually at the core of how we approach designing and implementing the whole feature. Because everyone is different, and everybody has very different, let's say, ways of playing, but also their imagination of how particular attack or action should look like. So when you tell them, hey, do healing or do attack, like normal attack or heavy attack, people have different concepts of how it should be performed. That's why when we were doing the feature, we were focusing on having a technology where we can quickly adapt to what people were telling us and how they were saying that they want to, how they want this feature to feel. So it was like a very data-driven approach, actually. And because of this process, even though we started, I'll say, big and bold from the very beginning with the feature and what kind of motions and patterns we want to support, how seamless it has to be. Basically, we were like all in on all of those aspects. Like if you think about cranking the settings, it was all on max. We want this, we want this, we want this. But with the playtest, people were showing us that even this wasn't enough. And we even had this like funny saying in the while developing, it's like a keyword for Giersch patterns. Because Giersch comes from the surname of one of the playtesters, Michał Giersch, who came in. And basically, the way he played showed us that we were like not thinking big enough. Sure, because for the majority of people, when you tell them do the attacks, they do this or they do smaller movements, for instance. But with Michał, it was completely different. He like destroyed it. He was basically sitting on the chair, and attacking, smashing it from every single angle, and nothing worked. Like literally not a single attack was registered at that time. So we had to go back, we had to rethink the whole strategy, and it actually triggered us to actually completely, not completely, but really make a big refactor in code as to how we actually approach it. But after a month or two, I think we got it to work both for Michał Giersch and probably like hundreds of thousands of players, while still being compatible with everybody else.
So thank you, Michał, for your contribution.
Yes, thank you very much.
To Cyberpunk 2077 on Nintendo Switch 2. So maybe you can get back into the game and show a little bit of the settings, what is possible for the motion controls, for gyro as well.
Gladly. So with the settings, one of the other things that was very clear for us during the playtest is that everybody really approaches the gyro specifically, very individually. It's even more so than like with the sensitivity of the controller, because you're a little bit like connected to the game through the Joy-Con. So we have like separate settings for whether you play in handheld using Pro Controller or dual grip, where you can set those individually, separately, and we control things like gyroscope sensitivity, where you can go from like precise aiming, where your motions are you don't require as much, let's say, motion to aim. Actually, no, it's the reverse. You have to do like strong motions to aim, but it's very precise. Or you can go up to camera freedom, which really allows you to rotate your camera 360 with just your wrist. And this is like very cool for people who like to use the gyro in exploration and not just in combat, for instance. And another one is the camera stabilization, which is also very powerful and really changes how you perceive the whole feature.
Awesome. So everyone will be able to, find the perfect sweet spot for them.
I think so. We really put a lot of effort into making it adjustable for everybody.
So we showed the handheld, we showed the motion controls, but we also have mouse.
Yes, that's true. So The mouse, we enable mouse from the settings here as well. And it still works like a controller in the sense of the buttons, like they still work. So the jump is still where it used to be. So you don't have to like learn everything from scratch. We only change one thing, and I think it's for a good reason, because with the first-person shooters, it's super, how to say it, it's super clear that the shooting is on the left mouse. This is what you associate the shooting with. Left mouse button, this is the one for the shooting. So we actually switch the mappings with in the handheld mode, sorry, in the mouse mode, that you actually shoot with the bumper, which when you actually switch the Joy-Con to the mouse, becomes like your left mouse button.
Do you guys have your favorite way to play on Switch 2? Is it the mouse, or is it?
For me, the handheld mode, because the gyro is so powerful for me. It's also so fun. Basically, when we implemented for the first time, I started to do headshot after headshot after headshot, so I felt very empowered, you know.
Without aim assist. Without
aim assist, of course. So I think it's very fun. But you know, also just the double grip with all of the motion, motion pattern. It's very fun, and as you said, you can do multiple things at a time. It's not a gimmick. You can dash, you can heal yourself, and at the same time, you still can walk and aim. So it's very cool.
Okay. So coming back to actually still the motion patterns, if, for example, I wanna play using the dual grip, can I just like turn it on and just play, or do I have to finish some kind of tutorial?
Okay. So for the ability to play in dual grip or any other mode, you can do it from the very beginning. However, for the motion patterns themselves, and just for the motion patterns, so like doing the attacks with your hand, for instance, or healing with another one, those we actually require people to finish the tutorial first. And this was, I would say, like one of the most difficult decisions that we had to make during the development, because we knew that it's not like a popular decision among players to lock something behind, you know, a setting or something like this. But we were like thinking about it very long, for I think like a month, maybe even 2. And we even performed a dedicated, targeted playtest to see how people react to the fact that they would have to use the patterns without really even knowing what kind of patterns are available. And it's just not a good experience. And we just believe that it's best in the best interest of the players to have it unlocked after doing the tutorial, which we changed and revamped quite a lot.
Okay.
Big section of the tutorial is done from almost beginning. You will see tutorial panels with instructions how to perform those patterns. They will also teach you about the gyro, some quirks, all the little details, including the settings, and it lasts like 5-10 minutes, something like this.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with the decision, because I tried it before for the playtest, and at first I was just supposed to figure those patterns by myself, and I could do that, but it was a little bit like all over the place. But after learning what is possible via the tutorial, it went much smoother. So yeah, I completely understand the decision behind that.
Yeah.
So actually, we have a question from chat. So maybe we can try and answer that. Cyberdan is asking about the motion controls in stealth mode and net running. Is this something that motion controls can help with?
So the actions that are available for the motion controls are melee attacks, normal attack, strong attack, charge attack. There is dodge or dash if you have the perk. There is heal, and there is a weapon reload.
Okay.
So even though they're not like, and also knife throwing. So even though they're not like in particular the patterns specifically targeted for stealth, we were going for the patterns that are useful in any playstyle, and you can totally use those even while stealth. For instance, healing, which is definitely something you also use. But one of the most popular stealth builds is actually knife throwing build, which is actually my favorite build. Yeah. You definitely can use those, and it's super satisfying to play this. I came back to this build after doing the pattern for knife throwing, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, I saw you throw some knives, and the movement is also like supernatural.
Yeah,
you just shoot.
Yes,
you just throw it. Yeah, exactly. It's super rewarding.
Nice. So this is definitely quite a small console. Maybe inside there's not that much. So did you have to how did you have to optimize the game to fit it into into this system?
Well, the optimization process is probably my preferred moment of the development when you have to fine-tune. You think that to fit the game over there, you need to do some compromises, but in reality, in video game development, you always have to do
those are challenges, right?
Those are challenges, or I would say trade-off, right? Because you cannot have everything. To have something, you have to give up something else.
Physics.
So I would love to have, 5 seconds to render one frame. Instead, I have just 0.33 milliseconds. Let's start from the beginning, because when I thought about the game in this console, like I had a very clear vision. It should have not look like a stripped down mobile version of the game. It should have looked like, Cyberpunk have the same visual signature.
100%.
So basically the player, when they look at it, they should remember it is how it looks on PC, on console, and whatever. So to obtain this, we had to maintain every single rendering feature of the game. And so we did. It wasn't easy, but we didn't strip down any, shadow or lights or reflection, ambient occlusion, volumetric, anything. Everything is there. This is why the game look basically the same, how you remember Cyberpunk. And this was basically the challenge, because you have to do a lot of fine-tune. It takes a lot of time and care, I would say, yes.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, you did an amazing job. For me, it seems like magic. So, because I had an opportunity to be on the hands-on where our community members actually had a chance to check out the game and play it a little bit. And they just came and they were stunned at how beautiful the game looks like. They just wanted to come and see whether it can actually work. Yeah. And once they saw it, they just stood there like, wow. It's like the words I heard the most, like, amazing, much better than expected. So kudos, guys.
You guys did a very, very good job. And I cannot wait to hear and read all the comments about the game. But before we go into, that, I'm pretty sure a lot of our players would like to know what resolution is the game running?
Of course, the resolution.
The resolution.
We have to talk about
the numbers.
By the way, this is all a concept, because when you say Full HD or 2K or 4K, in reality, it depends, how well you render the image. Yeah. It doesn't. Quality. Yeah, the image quality is not directly connected to resolution. But anyway, we have a good image quality. So we have 4 modes, because there is handheld and there is dock. So when you play in TV, and we support 2 modes in both versions. So of course, supporting 4 modes, it starts to be complicated, because when you do different version, it's complicated to support all of them. You have to do QA for all of the different version. So basically, what was my decision is to make it as similar as possible. Okay. So all the versions you will play, they are basically identically virtually the same. There is the same number of shadow, there is the same number of vehicles, there is the same number of characters in the street. The only things that we change is the resolution, the internal resolution, and the frame rate.
Okay.
So when you play in TV, you will have Full HD at 30 FPS. which is the default.
In quality mode.
In quality
Yes.
mode. And the same for the handheld. We have Full HD at 30 FPS, but you can also choose, of course, performance. And this is the nice part of the console, because for performance, we render 40 FPS, and of course, we lower the resolution to render 40 FPS. But the cool thing is that we can render 40 FPS just because this console have this kind of screen. So it's basically a new feature of the system that have this this display have two features: is eye refresh rate and have VRR. So eye refresh rate means that it so standard monitor is 60 Hertz. This is why you have 60 FPS, because you can just present a 60 image per second, or at least less, like 30. But you cannot do something in between. And with this screen, since it renders 120 Hertz, we could choose something in the middle. So we can render 40 FPS. And also the second feature is VRR, which is a variable refresh rate. And this is a little bit more complex feature, but what it means in practice is that the display shows the frame when it's ready. So instead of having a cadence, and when we miss this presenting, you see just the shutter. So this is when you don't we can keep 60 FPS. You start to see the stuttering, basically, you know. And with this mode, you will not see it, because we can't miss the presenting, because we present just when the frame is ready. This means that we have basically a dynamic frame rate. It can go below 40, it can go up a bit high, more than 30, but basically it's going to look smooth the same. And also it's going to reduce the input latency. The input lag, because we present the frame when it's ready, so it's gonna react much faster. So you will have less latency when you play.
And it really shows and feels.
Yeah, I think it feels. So for some player that have tried the game, they told me this look like 60 FPS. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. It's just
It's 40.
It's 40.
So just to sum up real quick, so we have TV mode, and in TV mode we have quality and performance. Quality would be 1080p or Full HD with 30 FPS, like stable 30 FPS, right? And then we can go to performance mode, which is also 1080p, but it goes up to 40 FPS, correct?
Yes, the important things to say is that you will be able to select performance mode just if you have a TV that supports eye refresh rate.
Okay.
This is
Got
important
it.
to say.
And then you go to the handheld mode, and you have quality mode, which is 1080p with 30 FPS, stable as well. But you could switch to performance mode, which is 720p up to 30 FPS.
Exactly.
Perfect. And VRR is already on the screen of the Switch, so you don't have to worry that it won't be able to handle that.
Exactly.
Perfect. So just for everyone who wants a quick summary.
Do you have any questions in the chat?
Yes, but in a second.
Okay.
Because first, I wanted to ask you guys, like personally, which mode is your preferred mode of playing Cyberpunk?
Good question, because we have to think which one we put as default. You know, so it's not about what we love or what we like; it's what the most of the player will enjoy most. So I prefer performance. And not just because it was a very technical challenge to make it work. It wasn't easy. But I prefer performance because I prefer fluidity, smoothness. So I prefer the game to be more smooth, and the short input lag that it gives. Now, the problem with performance is that maybe the frame rate is not always stable, so maybe when you drive, it goes down. So you can see sometimes it's more smooth, sometimes it's a bit less smooth. And some players, don't like that and prefer a stable experience. And I know somebody in this seat at my left.
Because for instance, I play in quality, and it's basically due to the reason that Giovanni said. Because even though in performance you will get more FPS, that's the whole purpose of the performance mode. In quality, I found the performance really is like just good. It's very smooth. It's a really great experience. It really feels much better than this number. You know, I think it's due to the screen, the input lag, the latency, all of it. So for me, it would be the quality.
Yeah, because even if you're rendering 30 FPS to be technical, you are still in a 120 Hz container. So the display, the technology of the display, it still help us to deliver a smooth presentation in any case. Yeah.
So it just looks good. Like to sum up,
Yeah.
It looks good. It simply looks
and
good.
like
Looks and feels.
everyone will find a setting that best suits them, whatever
Yes.
they prefer.
And we can set them separately for TV and handheld.
Yeah. Awesome. So maybe we can go to a few questions from the chat. Joe Craig from Twitch is asking, what was the most difficult challenge you had to face while making this version of the game?
Maybe Filip, you want to start, so I can think about.
For me, the biggest challenge definitely was to make the motion patterns in a way that is intuitive, is in a way that everybody is like happy about it, feels that that adds something to the experience, and that those visions for different people, that they don't usually have to be the same, that we find this like middle ground for this. I think that this was definitely the biggest challenge, let's say, to get all of those ideas that people have that are very different, but then in the end you have to find a single solution, and at the same time with the motion patterns, I would say like half of the difficulty comes from communicating how this pattern should work so that everybody understands it's the same. Because when you look at the 2D image, let's say, I cannot be with every single person, you know, adjusting their motions, etc. So the perspective of the camera comes into play, and many other things. So so getting this right, I think, took us the most amount of time.
Cool. So just to follow up on this, we'll get back to you, Giovanni.
You don't have to get back to me because his answer was perfect, and I would not add anything.
So, because Puita from Twitch actually has a follow-up question, like, did you come up with the gesture system from scratch, or does Nintendo offer some ready-made solutions, like maybe some tips and tricks?
So there are some solutions in the Nintendo, let's say, SDK API, like the package that we get, that we can use to basically start. However, everything that is implemented in the game itself relies on our custom proprietary technology that was developed by me and our great, really amazing programmers at Geeksoft, with whom none of this would be possible. The guys are really amazing. Shout out to Levente
We know they're watching.
and Dominique, yes.
Shout out to Xsoft.
Xsoft, really, and so we were making both the tools and like the logic inside the game completely from scratch and on our own.
Awesome. So just one more question from chat. Citrus is asking, is there safe synchronization between platforms?
Of course it is.
How couldn't there be?
How couldn't?
I mean, I think that's one of the most important features for the Switch, right?
Yeah, I mean, for this console, which is portable, it's such a no-brainer of a feature because, like for me, I'm a PC player. I worked on the ray tracing or the path tracing for this game, so I want it to look as good as possible. So sometimes I want to play on PC when I have the time, you know. But then I can take my save, bring it on the Nintendo Switch 2, and continue everywhere. So it's like really no-brainer, and allow you to play even more.
No-brainer to do, not no-brainer to implement.
No. That was another story.
Yeah, that's another story. Shout out to Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian.
So we actually have Nintendo as a system that allows us to hold Night City in the palm of our hand. Legit in your hand.
Literally.
Literally. Okay, so we already talked upon cross progression, right? What else is in the box and on the card.
We actually have a box
card
right
game.
here.
Yes, we have.
Please.
So the box is in the box. You have obviously the base game. You have the Phantom Liberty expansion, and you have all the patches that we've released up to 2.2. So everything is in the cartridge, and it works from the very get-go. There is the Day Zero patch, but it's non-obligatory. It's optional. Game definitely 100% works without it.
Perfect. And as it is like CDPR tradition, the box is not empty. There are some cool stickers for you.
Cool stickers.
Yes, cool stickers.
Let's show the stickers.
So we have obviously the samurai
more.
stickers and more with V, so you can showcase which one are you.
Or just put it on your Switch.
Too much stuff.
Put it on your Switch, put it on your laptop,
Switch, yes.
put it on your
We could not.
forehead if you want to.
We could not leave the box empty because it would be too sad. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And what about languages?
Yeah, on top of that, we can talk a little bit about languages. So basically, we will have two versions of the box. One is the global one, and this comes with the English voiceover on the game card and all the text for other languages. But other languages will be downloadable from the Nintendo eShop. On the other hand, you have the Japanese version, which comes with the Japanese voiceover on the cartridge, and you can download the English one. So if you buy it outside of Japan, you get the English one.
Yeah, so my brother will buy it in Italy. Gabriele, you had to download the Italian language.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
I mean, this is why we managed to fit it on the game card, actually.
Well, because he don't speak English, therefore he had to download
he can download it, no problem.
Okay, guys, so obviously we have our players who were already in Night City. They played Cyberpunk. What would you say is the best about this port, this system, to actually make them come back to Night City on Nintendo Switch 2?
Filip, the stage is yours.
For me, the best thing about it is that I'm mainly a PC player, especially when it comes to shooters. However, working on this and being able to experience the gyro, but also the motion patterns, all at the same time, I really think that the best way, gameplay-wise, for me to play the game is with the controllers and the gyro itself, because even though the aiming with the mouse is king, there is no denying about this. The gyro is very, very good, and it's like very close to it. But the gyro has this extra benefit that you're still playing with the controller. So the movement, the motions, the camera movement, the player movement, the abilities, all of this, it behaves like on the console. So this is like the best of two worlds. And on top of it, with the gyro, the sense of immersion is just higher than with the mouse, in my opinion. Just because you are aiming with your hands, so it's easier to like be connected with the game. And then when you put the motions on top of it, that allows you to do certain actions that you wouldn't be able to do without it. That's even better because, you know, for instance, like for healing. You can heal by just moving your arm, but you can still do all the other things while doing this motion. And it really changes the way you think about the encounter. Like previously, you know, oftentimes in order to perform this action, you need to stop moving, for instance, just to press the button. And this is like in your way. But with this, you just do things that you want to do. That's why I think this is the best feature for people who, for instance, play the Cyberpunk, but they would like to experience it again and maybe with some kind of enhancements.
We actually said something along the lines that this is the most Cyberpunk way to play Cyberpunk 2077.
This is our internal saying.
Yes.
It is definitely the most Cyberpunk way. So I can just echo Filip's word. And I think another additional thing is that you can brag with your friend that your new little console can run Cyberpunk 2077.
And how?
And how?
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Well, you guys sold it to me, so I'm definitely gonna go back home and play. Steal the system from my husband for a moment and enjoy the ride in Night City. And speaking of that, how does it feel to see that, you know, it's already out there? We already have the box and players already play on Switch too.
It doesn't feel real.
True. Especially now.
Yeah, you know, this is it was our little secret. Now it's our little baby, and finally we can share it with everybody. We wait for a long time for this to happen, and we are super excited to see how the community will react, how they will decide to play, what they will like most, you know. And the fact that a brand new audience, Nintendo audience, can play the game, it's really magic for me. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The fact that we've spent so much time on it, and it was basically like a roller coaster of making those, you know, risky edge decisions where at the time of thinking about it, we really didn't know if it's like the best way to go. But every single time we're like pushing ourselves to the limit. And you know, if you have a streak like this for months, and you see how they pay off and they click in, and now having all of this out in the public for people to play, this is the biggest reward you can have as a game developer, I think.
Yes.
That's why we live for.
Beautiful feeling. Yeah. So, guys, before we wrap up, there's one question that has been repeated in the chat a lot, and you've been asking for another DLC for Cyberpunk. And I can tell you right now that we are planning another patch for the game. The last one wasn't the last one.
Surprise.
Yes, so patch 2.3 is coming on June 26th, and we will meet with you and Amelia on the stream at the end of the June to talk about more details, what will be coming with the patch.
So it is coming.
Yes.
It's coming, one way or another. Okay, guys, do you have any final words before we wrap up and go back to Night City?
I just want to make a huge shout out to the whole team and Oleg Shatulo, Team Green, David, obviously the Xsoft, the QA, amazing QA that none of this would be possible. And this project specifically was insanely difficult from the QAing perspective, and there were so many challenges. So I just want to thank everybody who was doing this and made all of this possible.
Yes, a huge shout out to the team. Special thanks to Oleg, our producer.
Yes, amazing.
He was more than a guardian angel for me than a producer.
Yes.
It's like amazing working with these peoples, and yeah, it's one of my highlight of my career. It was like an honor to work on this project.
Absolutely.
And with these people. So yeah.
And humbling at the same time by how skilled those people are.
You're one of them.
You're guys one of them, yeah. Okay, guys, so that would be it for today. Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you, Filip, for being here with us and answering all those questions. And yeah, like Alicia mentioned, we'll see you very soon again in Night City.
Yeah, and you know, just a reminder, Cyberpunk is already out on Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2 is already out. Thank you for joining us for the stream, but now you can go and play it.
Go and play. What are you doing here? Don't lose time.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. See you next time.
See you soon, guys.
See ya.
Ciao, ciao.
Dex put a hit on me. I took a bullet, I died, I came back. All good until I realized I had a time bomb wedged in my brain. It was like a goddamn movie plot.
Hello there, Night City!
A city of endless opportunity.
And I met Johnny Silverhand.
Fucking Chip. Night City legend.
Long story.